Welcome to Unplanned Potency, the only podcast on the internet that's basically free bonus Diluti content.
No, nonsense. Chris will be back on. I'm just substitute Chris.
Yeah.
I'm if Chris wasn't smart.
You're if Chris wasn't Chris and was Mike instead. Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm the not Chris, but Mike.
Wow.
Subbing in again
Riveting
because we had time.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
why not? This time around,
It sounds like Mike has a topic, though.
I have two topics. It depends on how much time we'll have for each of them, but I have two topics.
Is this planned potency?
Oh my God, it might be planned potency. Quick, delete this
New
channel. New show.
What's your plan?
So I got this based off the podcast Plumbing the Death Star.
Okay.
And I highly recommend them. They're Australian and they're hilarious.
Okay.
But
Plumbing the Death Star, like laying pipe?
Yeah.
Well, laying pipe on the Death Star is a different thing, I guess. But like
that's another alien porn that you found.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was on the third page.
Yeah. So the topic today is which would be the worst day to get Groundhog Day'd into?
Which would be the worst day to get Groundhog Day? Okay, personally or like as like in the history of humanity?
It could be either. Like that's the point.
Okay.
Is
right.
What would be the worst day to get Groundhog Day'd into?
Right. I mean, I guess if you go, yeah. Okay. So 9/11 has already been brought up in the Discord chat.
Yeah,
that's immediately where my brain went to.
Yeah,
right.
that's
That's
too
too
easy,
easy.
though.
That's the default answer. But see, the thing is, and this is awful to say, but like personally, from my personal experience, 9/11 actually wouldn't be that bad. I mean, it's an awful day in history. Awful for everybody who was affected by that. But me personally, as an individual, like unless you were there,
It didn't affect you as much.
yeah, you just saw it on TV. As a kid, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Especially in my life, if I got Groundhog Day'd back into the fourth grade or whatever, I'd just be like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, nothing really happened to us other than I saw more hatred towards brown people
Yeah.
in the United States. That's
Yeah.
really the only thing I noticed. And yeah, I agree. Everyone would say 9/11, but I don't. It like I came out just fine, and I
Right.
got 9/11 apparently.
We all got 9/11.
Yeah, we all got 9/11. So yeah, I guess it would be more of a personal one. What would be
Right.
your personal?
Okay. I feel like there's three
world's
ways
worst
to answer
Groundhog
this.
Day.
Yeah, there's like the human history one. There's like there's the actual one, and then there's the comedic one. I
Yeah.
feel like my personally worst day to get Groundhog Day into would probably be the day that my dad died. That would probably be the worst day to get.
Well, you're gonna
Groundhog
make
Day
it very
into.
dark.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm answering the question.
I guess so. Yeah.
The worst day. Oh, okay. Getting Groundhog Day into like the end of existence would actually
Yeah, but
probably
that has
really
a-
suck.
Yeah, but that's billions and billions of years away.
You
So like,
didn't
will we
stipulate.
even? It has to be like of now times. It has to be something that's already happened.
Oh my god.
Yeah, from
Okay.
like today back. What is like the worst day to be Groundhog Day into?
Does that mean that I can go back into like before humanity existed?
No, human times. It has to be human times.
Okay.
Yes, and like modern human times. I'm talking like, I would say like 1500s and up.
Does my location change?
So I guess so that's the other thing is this like a time travel thing? Like, can I get Groundhog Day back to the 1500s, or is it a Groundhog
Right.
Day thing where it's of my life? Like it had to happen within my last 30 years. You know, what's the stipulation here? That's why I picked this topic. What can we do
this
both?
is difficult. There's so many ways that you can answer this.
Yeah, can we do both? Do you want to do like Groundhog Day in the history of like humanity and like a personal between
Okay,
my
I
lifespan?
think you should be able to change locations. So like getting Groundhog Day back into like the worst day of the bubonic plague
Yeah,
would probably
I was thinking that too.
be terrible.
Or the fucking Hindenburg going down.
Yeah.
I
the
think-
humanity.
I think the worst one would be probably if we're talking like time travel-esque, it would probably, in my opinion, be like the JFK assassination, because that shook the fucking world.
Okay.
When JFK died, back then people like were obsessed with the president. Like the president was like their fucking god. Like if the president, if Biden died right now, let's be honest, if Biden died like right now, you and me would be like,
People are like,
Oh,
I guess we
the
got
day would keep going.
Kamala.
yeah, the day would just keep fucking going. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But back then, when JFK died, that was a big fucking deal. People were like, "Oh shit, America's ruined
Journey,
because the president is
answer.
gone."
What was
What happened?
what was JFK's assassination like?
That might be up there. That or the was it George Wells Alien broadcast?
Oh, yeah.
Because as cool as that was back then, that probably freaked
people
the
thought-
fuck out
Yeah,
of
people thought the world was literally about to end. Because, like,
Mhm.
okay, all right, that's interesting. Yeah,
So,
mass hysteria. Like,
yeah,
everybody
anything
think-
with mass hysteria, you have to repeat that over and over.
Okay, I feel like there's got to be mass hysteria that's worse.
Mm,
Like,
The
in a
Salem witch
localized-
trials. Salem
Ooh.
witch trials.
Ooh, that would
Imagine
be bad.
doing that over and over. Actually, you know what?
Okay.
You'd be able to get out of that pretty easy. Like the first time around, you might get like hung, but the second time around, you'd be like, "I'm a man of God. I'm not a witch. I'm a man of God." Like I feel like after
You
a
would come
while,
up with strategies.
yeah, after a while, you'd come
Yeah.
with a strat. So, what would be the worst one where you don't think
There's
there would be a strategy
literally
of getting out of it?
Nothing you can do about it.
There's no
Oh,
strat to get
man.
out of it. You're just fucked. What would that be?
Oh.
I can't
Getting
think of one.
Groundhog Day onto the Titanic would be pretty bad. Because didn't the Titanic like actually sink really early in the morning? So you like as the day. Okay,
Hmm.
next question: does the day start at midnight, or does the day start
No, it starts
when
at
you
about.
wake up?
If we're going according to the movie, you
Yeah.
Groundhog Day about 6:00 in the morning.
Right, like your alarm's going off. But
Yeah, so it's from like 6 to
But
6.
he Groundhog Dayed because that's when he woke up, right?
Yeah. So
But if you're already awake.
what do you mean?
Well, okay, so the idea behind the movie is like he goes to sleep and then he wakes up again in the same day, right?
Mhm.
But if you're getting Groundhog Dayed into a day where you're already awake at midnight, are
They
you just
do
gonna,
that.
Are you just
They
gonna
do.
like?
They
pop
do that in
in?
the movie. Yeah, you just pop. They do that in the movie. They
Oh,
stay up
okay.
past midnight and they're still there. And he's like, "Oh, it usually doesn't happen until around 6:00 in the morning." And they're like, "Oh, that's weird." And then she dozes off, but he stays awake. And then he just wakes up.
Okay, maybe
in
I
his-
haven't
in his
seen all of
bed.
Groundhog
Yeah.
Day.
It's a very good movie. Generally top 5. Very good movie.
Okay, all right, I'll have to go rewatch it. I think that's one of those movies I've only seen like on TV and probably haven't seen
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Love it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Anyway,
no matter what you do, the clock resets at a certain time. So we'll say like we'll follow the movie code, 6:00 in the morning, clock resets. So it goes from 6 in the morning to 5:59 in the morning, and then it resets to the day again.
okay. Hmm,
So what day would be the worst for that?
the worst. Oh.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like you said, maybe the Titanic, but you could avoid the Titanic by telling the guy, "Hey, turn left."
Yeah, but if the day
You know?
starts where the ship has like already hit the fucking iceberg.
But what if you started the day before?
If you yeah, like you
Oh,
said,
yeah.
if you started
Yeah.
the day before, then you got so many strategies. But
Mhm.
if you started the day before, it wouldn't even matter because
That's true because you want to get on the Titanic. When did the Titanic sink? Can we look that up? Like what time?
At what
Hang on.
time?
Yeah.
I think it was like
What
1 or 2 in the morning.
time did the Titanic sink? It sank at 2:20 a.m. So you could avoid it because if the clock resets at 6 a.m., you have
So are we
about 4
definitively
hours.
saying that the clock resets at 6 a.m.?
Yeah,
on
we're gonna
whatever-
follow the movie code. It resets
Okay.
at 6 a.m. every time. So you
Okay.
could avoid the Titanic.
You could. Well, how long had the Titanic been? Well, you could warn. That
Yeah.
would be the most frustrating thing ever, though. If there's
Try
just
warning
like,
them and they do nothing about
yeah,
it.
and they just do absolutely jack shit. So you spend the
But I feel
entire
like-
day.
If you do it thousands of times in a row, eventually you'll find something that works. Even if it's knocking out the fucking guy at the wheel and taking control of the wheel yourself
Yeah.
at like
You're-
a split second.
At the,
It's all the butterfly effect.
the worst case scenario is you're going to figure out a strategy for reliably getting on a lifeboat in time.
Exactly. You're gonna find. I get mine. That's what's gonna happen.
You'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wait by the lifeboat the entire time, or just dip off the lifeboat immediately. Who knows?
There's so many options here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what is a
I
scenario.
have decision paralysis because
Yeah, right.
there's so many things that I could.
Yeah, I don't think there's a scenario that you can't figure out a way out of after thousands of tries. You know what I mean? I feel like eventually, even by accident, you would stumble upon a success and save the day, no matter what it is.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you're talking about see, that's why this needs more constraints. Because I feel like if you're trying to groundhog your day yourself into a specific person in a specific period in time, you could come up with something. Like I could like be a Jew in a concentration camp. Like there's probably not really any way out of that.
That would be one of the worst ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Like and that would be terrible because you'd have to go probably through like an entire day of knowing what's about to happen, and there's probably literally nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, actually, I think that might be probably one of the worst ones. Because yeah, what can you do about it? Like, they got them in prisons. You can't escape for the most part. I mean, some did, which is great, but I feel like
but you're
depending
not in any way that you could execute over the course of like 12 hours
of one day, yeah, you need time. You need more time than that.
Yeah.
Unless I mean, but here's the thing: you say over the course of 12 hours, but that's 12 hours repeated over and over and over again. So maybe you can get down some sort of strategy.
Maybe you could isolate like one moment in time where you can do something.
Like, oh, I know the guy will trip at this time. That's when I will grab for the key or something. Who knows?
But even then, wouldn't it be terrible because you would still be stuck in this loop where you have to repeat this?
That's
like,
the point of the movie. Yeah, that's what he does in the movie.
No, I know. But like even the best case scenario there is still not good because now you've woken up and you're like, fuck, I have to execute. My choices today are either die or execute this plan perfectly and get like 2 hours of freedom in the wilderness. Great. Awesome.
Yeah. And also, if you escape, like the rules of Groundhog Day aren't really like clear. It's like a true love thing maybe, but like how does the loop end in this kind of situation? Like let's say you do escape. Awesome. Once it's 6 a.m, are you back in the prison? Because you didn't like get the you didn't like do the right thing to stop the loop, you know? Right. How do you figure out what also ends the loop? Because even he doesn't figure it out at the end. It's assumed that it's like he found love or a different perspective type of thing, but I think it's kind of, for the most part, kept up in the air. No one thing besides him becoming a better person triggers.
Yeah, that changes this question too, right? Because like if it's the worst day that you could be stuck in for eternity, like we were saying, there's ways out of specific situations. Even if you're on the Titanic, you would figure out some way onto a lifeboat reliably. But like then your day ends like what, on a lifeboat in the middle of the Atlantic, and then it just resets back. Well, actually, then you get to spend most of your day on like a luxury cruise liner, and you could probably fuck around and have some fun until you.
That's true. Until you just have to get that lifeboat.
That probably wouldn't be that bad. Yeah. A concentration camp would be bad.
I think I think we found what might be one of the worst ones is being at a concentration camp. That would be the worst to get Groundhog Day into. Yeah.
That or just like something that's just a complete lack of stimuli altogether.
Yeah. Or just something where you're just like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a concentration camp, but like imagine you being Groundhog Day into a scenario where you're like chained against a wall. Like you can't break those chains. So for an eternity of loops, you're just stuck. You're just stuck because you know you can't break those chains, no matter how much you try. There's no way for you to break them. So that would be the worst. Or imagine being Groundhog Day into, you know, the guy that made the bronze bull?
No.
Have you? Oh, so there's a medieval torture device called the bronze bull, where it is quite literally just a giant bronze bull. And the guy that made it basically made it to where it's hollowed out on the inside. You shove a guy in there and you lock it up and they cannot escape. And then you set a fire underneath it and they literally boil from the inside of this bronze bull. And then the smoke comes out of the nose and it makes it look like the bull is snarling. And so the guy that made it presented it to the king. And the king was like, awesome. shove him in. So the people shoved the creator of the bronze bowl into the bronze bowl, and he literally cooked to death. Imagine that shit happening. Like,
Ooh.
because that couldn't have, like, that had to be a slow death. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And that would be most of the day, is being stuck in that bronze bowl. So anything where you're like trapped in a situation with no
Right.
escape, fuck that.
That
That'd
would
be
be
the
pretty
worst.
bad. Yeah, like the most boring day on like a slave trade ship would be awful. Just like chained up in the like lower decks of a ship, and
Oh,
that
God.
just repeats. That'd be awful.
You'd lose your mind, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
What
Yeah.
about, let's see.
Now I'm sad.
Me too. Do you want me to change the topic to a different one?
No, you had a thought.
You know, I really did. I was going to say personal ones, but we already kind of established a personal one.
What would your personal one be?
I don't really know. What would be my personal Groundhog Day hell? That is a fantastic question. I don't really think I have a good answer to that. I've never really had like a day that was like bad. You know what I mean? Like a
Nothing
day where I'm
sticks
just
out
like,
to you is just like, I just can't wait for this day to be over.
no, I've had plenty of those days, but nothing sticks
Okay.
out as a day where I'm like, this is the worst fucking thing that could ever happen to me. I've never had that situation.
Mm.
Like I'm honest to God trying to think. I've had times where, like, you know, my job made me cry because it was such a shitty day. But like, if I got Groundhog Day into that, I would just not show up to work that day. You know what I mean? I don't have
Yeah.
a day where
You would just get, no matter what you do, you're still getting Groundhog Day into being a suburban white male.
yeah. I don't have a very traumatic day. I mean, like what you said with yours, with your father passing. I don't have a traumatic day like that. That is the equivalent of like a hell on earth to me.
Do you have a day where you were just like so sick that they were like in
Oh.
so much pain?
I shit my pants once, but I could avoid that by just getting to the bathroom on time if I'm Groundhog
You've
Day.
never had a day where you just laid in bed with a migraine all day or something? And
No, not really.
really?
Wow, now that I think about it, I've lived a pretty
Wow.
blessed life.
Jeez, Mike.
I've lived a
What
pretty
about a
blessed
day with
life.
just a horrendous hangover?
Yeah, I've had that.
Okay, there you go.
But again,
Or
I could,
something.
yeah, I guess. But if that's the worst of it,
But
and I'm
that's
just
every
being-
single day for
yeah,
until you solve the puzzle
of curing
of
a
getting
hangover.
out. Oh, or that, yeah.
I guess, but you could solve that by just staying in bed and sleeping all day.
I mean, yeah, but that's still pretty miserable. Wow.
I
Mike.
guess so. I don't know. Wow, I've lived
Okay,
a pretty
all right.
blessed life.
Let's flip it then. If you
Okay.
could get Groundhog Day back into any day ever, like as one that you would want to relive forever, which one would it be?
One that I would want to relive forever. I could go with like the generic answers, like my wedding day or the day my child was born. But if I'm gonna
Mhm.
be honest, I was like nervous and anxiety ridden as shit. So I'm not gonna pick those days only because how much stress went into them. I'm trying to think of a day that was just filled with just pure, just nothing bliss. I had a day, and this is gonna sound very silly, Billy, but I had a day where, when I was living with my old roommates / best friends, Nate and Naomi, and the power went out, and Naomi and I just were like, "What do we do?" Well, there's rum in the fridge. Let's just get drunk. And we just sat around and got drunk and had really fun conversations. That was a really nice day.
Okay.
I would say days like that I would like getting groundhogged
So
into.
you
where
would just like to get drunk forever.
no, not drunk forever. Just I would like to get groundhog dayed into days that like were just very peaceful and I didn't have anything going on. I could just relax and have peace of mind that I could do anything this day and there's no repercussions to it. Like I had a bank account with some money in it, so it's not like I was poor. I didn't work that day or the next day. I could do anything I wanted, no repercussions. It was great.
Okay.
I would go back to a day like that. I had a couple of those. They're pretty fun.
Okay. All right. Just like a normal day. And I mean, I guess that leaves
Honestly, yeah.
options open for you to just be like, let's do something different today. Like you
Yeah.
can steer
Mhm.
the course of
history.
that one day.
I could run over a butterfly that day, and then JFK got shot again.
Again. They resurrected him and then reshot him.
Just to shoot him, just to test the bullet theory.
Like, oh, nope. You're right. His head does move
Yeah.
that way.
What about you? If you could get
If
Groundhog Day into a good day, what would it be?
I could get Groundhog Day into a single day. An easy answer is probably like a day that I had like during a summer break, just hanging out with my friends
Mhm.
when I was like in high school or something like that. That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Maybe like the second day that I was in Tokyo with my dad when we took our first trip to Japan, because that whole vacation was super awesome.
That
And
sounds
then
fun.
I'd just be like fucking around in Tokyo. That'd be pretty sick.
Ooh, you know what I would probably do too?
What?
Not to cut you off. If I could Groundhog Day, I'd probably Groundhog Day to one of the days that you came up. Because
Just-
like those like 4 days were a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Those were so fucking fun.
And we would remember the
I know.
YouTube videos that we had watched. So we'd just be able
we
to
could
watch all of the
different ones.
YouTube.
Yeah.
We'd be able to.
We could just become eternal YouTube watchers and subscribers.
Yeah. We could finally get to the deepest depths of YouTube.
We'll
and
have
watch all
infinite
of it.
knowledge. What are you watching, dear? 15 hours of birds eating seed. This is where I'm at now.
We could solve conspiracy theories with just like accidental footage that random people uploaded to YouTube where like shit happened in the background for like a split second. You'd be like, wait, on day 5,732, we watched this video where this guy is recording a selfie video and uploading it to YouTube.
We basically become Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, pretty much. Hell yeah.
We'll get into like an argument with someone where it's like, oh, the moon landing is fake. Like it didn't happen. We'll just be like, check Quasi's upload on November 5th, 2012, and he'll have cell footage of the moon landing. And we'll just know immediately.
Hell yeah. All right. Now I kind of want to do this.
Yeah.
Let's figure
I
out
think
how to
that'd be fun.
groundhog our day into watching YouTube for eternity.
That doesn't sound awful. I've had worse
There
days
are
in
worse.
my life.
There are worse.
Do you want to try a different one?
Yes.
Okay. Let us do this one. Let's go with would you I'll let you decide which one you want to do. These are the two good ones. This is still from Plumbing the Death Star.
Okay.
So the one is, would you be a Batman's Robin? And the other one is, could you survive the Cars universe as you are now?
As you are. Oh, I have to pick between these two?
Yes. Would you be a Batman's Robin, or could you survive the Cars movie universe?
All right, I got to go with the Cars universe, but I want you to answer first.
Okay. So I might be cheating a little bit because I listened to them talk about it, and
That's fine.
it brought up some points that I agreed with, but I came with them before, so whatever. Could we survive the Cars universe? No.
The end.
Well, so
Why?
there's no like so if I'm dropped in the Cars universe, right, and
Okay.
it's just filled with a bunch of talking cars. How am I going to survive? Because there's no food. Everything is
there's
cars.
like vegetation and stuff.
So here's the thing though, in the movies, it shows like even the smallest like bug
Mhm.
is a car.
Right.
So I'm assuming that the plants are
Ooh.
also some sort of
So you-
car-based plant.
Okay. So like the cells are mechanical, basically.
Yeah,
And like
I would
the
assume
fluid
so.
is oil.
I would assume.
Ooh.
Well, so maybe not, because they also show there's rain
Okay.
in the Cars universe. So we know there's water at least. But is there meat? Is there something that I could eat to
Well, I'm sure
survive?
there's not meat, Right.
Who knows though? Because you see, that the cars themselves, although they are mechanical, they have a tongue. And what is a tongue if not meat? So can I just eat a bunch of car
So you're
tongues?
just gonna kill a bunch of cars and cut their tongues out.
Maybe, I don't know. So that's the thing? Is it meat or is it not? It looks like meat.
Yeah, right. So are the cars in the Cars universe actually made of like mechanical matter, or
You
are
never
they
see
just
the
like
inside of
yeah?
them.
Are they just a skin over some super
Weird
creepy
fleshy thing.
organism? Yeah.
They do consume fuel because there's gas stations and everything. So I would assume they can't be like a fleshy organism because it would be
But
eating
do the gas
gasoline.
stations really serve petrol, or do they serve some sort of other organic fuel? Is
Like
that
they just
directly
call it
addressed?
They just call it gas, but it's not actual
Right.
gas.
Yeah, it's actually like corn syrup.
It's ethanol. I don't know. They're all diesel. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Because I don't think you ever see the gasoline. You see the rain, but you see oil. I think one of them pees on another car. I think one of them pees oil.
Oh
So
my god.
they are mechanical. They have oil.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. And they
Uh,
do have like exhaust pipes, I think, and shit. So they have combustible engines? Maybe?
Yeah, and like their wheels spin, and
Yeah.
so like are those just like bones, and then the wheels are just like on sockets and
Yeah, well, that wouldn't work
Uh.
because you can't have an organism with wheels. So
well, you could
They
if
ha-
it was just bones, and then the wheels just like had cartilage, and you just
I
pop
don't know
them.
if I don't know enough about anatomy.
I mean, that's kind of how your shoulders and stuff work, right?
I guess.
It's a ball.
But
It's like a ball and socket. So
yeah, that's true.
ugh, that makes
Gross.
me uncomfortable. I don't
My
like this.
my
Jason,
my shoulder's a
medical
wheel.
question.
Is my shoulder a wheel?
It is if I do this.
But
All right.
do you think you could survive?
Do I think I could? I think the plant. Well, I mean that's up to these questions, right?
Well,
Are the
even if
plants made out of plants?
Even if they
Or-
are, let's say there are plants. You can't survive
Okay.
off plants alone. You need protein. You need
Yeah,
iron.
but there
you need
could be
other
beans. They're right. Like you don't know what plants. Like we see trees and stuff, right? In the Cars universe and grass.
Things. Do you?
So
You see grass, but do you ever see trees?
yeah, because like they drive through.
They drive through valleys.
Yeah, I bet you could
cars,
find a picture of a tree in Cars.
Movie trees. Okay, there are trees. Yeah, there are trees.
Yeah. Okay. And those trees look pretty green to me.
Yeah,
So-
they do look pretty green.
Who's
You're
to say
right.
there's no beans? And if you got
might be
beans
onto
and
something.
you got greens, you could survive for a little while
You-
at least. You may
yeah.
eventually be like if you don't get enough beans, you may be protein deficient eventually. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
but again, who's to say if they are not mechanical in nature? That's the thing.
who's to say?
Who's to say?
But again,
And-
who's to say that the cars cuz there's like car equivalents of cows, right?
Yeah, they're tractors.
Yeah, and they go tractor tipping.
Yeah,
So who's to say that you can't just like slaughter cows
but they're tractors.
or tractors? Slaughter tractors. and
Haven't we
eat
already
the-
established that they don't have meat? That they're metal?
Did we? I don't think we established that.
Because
well,
they have
you
oil
said
and
that
shit
they
in them.
take in oil and stuff.
They take in
but
gas. They take in petrol.
I don't think we definitively said that there's not some sort of process where the gas is made of something else and it's being converted to organic matter. I don't know.
But if they have oil, that would have to mean that they're mechanical. Yeah. Do you ever see a car
Octopus
pop
have
its
ink?
hood? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Do you ever see a car pop its hood? Cars movie. Car opens hood. I'm googling so many things right now. Do you ever see a car pop its hood? You do.
All right, what's in there?
They have it. They have an engine.
Okay.
Mattel makes cars that have engines inside of them.
Hmm. All right.
So they are mechanical. And it's in one of the pictures of the TV show, it looks like. Miles Axelrod with open hood.
I think
So they have an engine. I see an engine.
I could. I'm gonna roll the dice and say I could, just based on the fact that we do see trees and things. I think there's probably enough organic plant matter to because I'm the only human competing for resources, and I can make friends with cars who can drive me around to different places where there's resources that I can scavenge for.
Can they drive you around though? Like,
I can
is the
just sit on
inside
'em.
is the inside like a seat and everything?
It doesn't matter. You can just sit on them. Just get in the back of fucking Larry the Cable Guy's the truck. What's his
Mater?
fucking name? Mater? Yeah. Just get in Mater's fucking bed and just be like, all right, Mater,
All right.
take me to the bean field.
Take me to the bean field, Mater. I got some. You know what? Oh, he does say, yo, yeah, vegetation is confirmed because
Okay.
when Mater introduces himself, he says, "My name is like Tomater, only without the ta."
Oh,
So they
yeah.
know what
So they
tomatoes
know what a
are.
tomato is.
They
Yeah.
know what a tomato is, so there is
Okay, yeah.
vegetation.
There we go.
All
That's
right.
all we needed right there.
Yeah, you actually, I think you solved the problem.
Hell yeah. Just eat tomatoes.
Yeah, you might have to become a vegetarian, but you can live off that. You just, I mean, it's gonna be not as fun, but you can do it.
Okay.
Fuck it.
All right.
All
Problem
right. I
solved.
think okay,
All right.
but how long in the Cars universe would it take you to kill a car? And do you think you could
Just for
kill a car?
fun? Or
Like survival, sure.
I-
Like
I
one of the
don't feel like-
tractors is running up on you.
I don't feel like there's any proof in any of the movies that there are cars that are like with murderous intent.
No,
Are
there
there?
are. They're in Cars 2 or 3 when Mater becomes a spy. There's a spy car and he literally gets beaten to death in a bathroom by other cars.
Oh, okay.
They
I
beat
think
the
I-
shit out of him.
I think I've seen Cars 1 and I think I've seen Cars 3. So maybe I haven't
Yeah.
seen Cars 2.
But yeah, there are cars with, menace behind their eyes.
Okay.
They definitely want to murder.
But what are the chances I'm going to come across a murderous intent car?
I would say as similar as coming across a murderous intent person. I
Okay.
mean, the
and I
cars
don't-
are
I don't
people in
think-
this.
I've never been threatened to be murdered like realistically in my life.
That's true.
So I think I
true.
could live a full human lifespan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I agree. Now that we've established, but have we established yet that the vegetation is not some sort of metal-based vegetation?
Yeah, I think so.
How have we established that? There's no humans on this world. So for all we know, a tomato to them is just a metal ball.
Okay, here's how.
We don't see
Because
the tomato.
Here's how we know that there's vegetation. Because for there to be an oxygen-rich atmosphere, there has to be some sort of vegetation that is sucking in carbon dioxide and producing oxygen, right? So the way that an internal combustion engine works is it takes in gasoline and then it uses the fumes from the gasoline and it mixes them with oxygen to create an explosion. That's how you get fire. That's how you get the boom that makes the car go. So without oxygen, the
We
Cars
have
universe
no
couldn't
running
exist. The cars
cars.
wouldn't go. So there
So there has
something
to
has to
be-
be producing oxygen.
You just science the shit out of the Cars universe. Damn. Holy fuck. Okay. Wow. So I think we confirmed we can live on the Cars universe. Wow, we should do these more often because you just blew the lid off of this whole thing.
Hell yeah, we solved it. All
We
right.
solved it. Wow, I thought that would go on a little bit longer than it actually did, but here we are.
All right. So we're only at 33. Yeah, we're only at 33 minutes. Let's do the fucking Robin one.
Okay, would you be a Batman's Robin?
Okay, so would I be specifically Batman or like any superhero's sidekick? Or is
Batman.
this just like actually Batman?
It's
okay.
Batman. Would you be Batman's Robin?
Would I be Batman's Robin? I mean, I'm not getting up to anything else more interesting in my life. Sure, fuck it. Why not? That's basically my
So,
answer.
Here's
Like-
the problem
Okay.
with being Batman's Robin. We can actually argue this in two ways. One, would you just in general be Batman's Robin? And two, would you be a good Robin?
Oh, like would I be successful at it?
Yeah, like would you be competent at being Robin?
No, probably
well-
not. The competency is probably immediately shot down by the fact that I have very little depth perception because one of my eyes is very bad. And so I feel like I'm just going to be constantly fucking up situations for Batman. I feel like any
mean-
situation where I need to throw something or grapple onto something,
Which is most
or
battering
which is most
and
bat situations are not going to go well.
So I guess you could still be okay though, because this is when this is more complicated for me as well, because everyone's like, oh, Batman has no superpowers. He fucking does. If you've seen a show with Batman in it or read a Batman comic, this motherfucker's like jumping 30 feet in the air.
Yeah. He's at
getting,
least an Olympic gold medalist.
He's more than that. He is some sort of superhuman.
Okay.
Because like there's a point when in like one of the movies, for example, it's I think Batman and Superman versus there's one they're fighting Darkseid, but Darkseid, like the strongest dude in DC Comics, is holding Batman by his fucking neck, and then slams him through a concrete wall.
Yeah,
that would kill a person. You know,
right?
That would kill a man, and yet Batman survives
but
just
does his
fine.
Bat suit not like super?
No, he's just got like a cloth. It's just like a cloth Batman suit.
Okay.
So Batman definitely has some sort of, and like that happens so often in Batman comics. He'll jump 30 feet in the air. He'll jump off of like in Batman Under the Red Hood. They literally jump like 100 feet onto a moving subway, and they land with no problems. Don't break legs or nothing. So they have some sort of superhero dexterity and superhero acrobatic skills. But people are just like, he's got no superpowers. No, he does. Because this man's flipping 50 feet in the air.
What do you think causes Batman's superpowers?
Writing. His superpower is the guy that's writing him for the day.
Okay. So there's no like in-universe explanation.
No.
No radioactive spider.
Nope, he's just the writer likes Batman.
Okay.
And allows him to jump 50 feet
he
in
is
the air.
the coolest superhero.
That's it. But with that being said, would I be a Robin? It depends on if I am also allowed to be as super agile and athletic as Batman. If I'm not, I can't even jump 4 feet in the air.
Right.
There ain't no way I'm keeping up with him.
Because you're going to embarrass yourself immediately.
Yeah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm not getting on a skyscraper and trusting the bat grappling hook with my life. I'll let go on accident.
I have a kid. What?
Batman, your life insurance policy better be tip-top for me to be doing this shit. And what's the bat insurance like? Because you're getting your ass kicked a lot.
The bat insurance is he's a billionaire, and Alfred just shows up at your wife's house and is like, sorry about that, and just like drops off a cool Millie and just like walks away.
He was a good Robin. Here's a check for $50 million. You will say nothing to anybody or Batman will beat you up.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of being a Robin because there's nothing cooler than being a superhero, you know? But I've read so many Batman comics, and like, would I be a good Robin? Absolutely not. I'd be the worst. So I'm gonna say no on that one. If it's just me how it is, if Batman came up to me like, hey, do you want to be my Robin? I'd be like, no. As much as I would love to,
I think I'd give it a shot. I think I'd just be like, yeah, fuck it.
I might if he's like, I'll
what do you
train
have to
you.
lose realistically other than your life?
Oh yeah, other than everything. You're absolutely right. If he came up to me and was like, I'll like pay you a lot of money to be my Robin. Sure. Yeah, I'll do it.
How much would it take you? 500 grand?
A year, easy. Yeah. No, not even that. If Batman came up to me like, I'll pay you 100 grand after tax to be my Robin, I'd be like, yep,
one time or a year?
Every year. Give me a salary. Give me a Robin salary.
A 6-figure salary.
Give me a 6-figure salary. I will be your Robin. I will trim the fat. I'll bulk up a little bit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If this is what you're doing full time, you have so much time to train and like.
Yeah, then I'll do it. Will I be good at it? Who knows? But I'll like you said, I'll give it my best.
Yeah.
But this is when the fear comes into play because Batman's rogue gallery is terrifying. You're going up against people like Professor Pig and Scarecrow and Clayface.
Oh yeah, it's a tumultuous environment. 100%.
It's terrifying. The Killer Croc, terrifying. Do I actually want to be Robin and put in these situations? Especially because sometimes it will be just me. I mean, fuck, the whole thing with Jason Todd's death. He got beaten to death by a crowbar by the Joker. Do I really want to have a weekly adventure with Batman.
Like I said, it
fighting
sounds a
the
lot more
Joker.
interesting than what I've got going on. So,
But it's interesting good. I don't want to shit my pants every week thinking the Joker's going to come to my house, especially if it's the life I'm living now.
I was gonna say you've got something to lose, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it
Nobody's
because
depending
like
on me.
yeah, listen, Bruce, buddy, like if the Joker ever figures out that I'm mild-mannered Mike Allen and he comes to my home, I'm fucked. Like I can't do this. I'm sorry. Like I got to like disguise myself pretty good. My ass has to be wearing like prosthetics and then a mask, you know what I mean? Just so the Joker never figures out who I am. Like so
Yeah.
this is a tough one for me because as much as I would want to be a Robin, I don't know if I can.
I don't think I'd be able to say no. I think just the allure in and of itself would be enough for me to just be like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm with you. I would give it a shot, but the moment Batman's like, I need you to go into Professor Pig's torture dungeon and release
piss yourself and be like, no.
release the cage hostages, I'm gonna say, nah, you can do that. I'll be the computer guy today. You go ahead, Batman. I'll solve Calendar Man's problems. You go after. I'll get the Riddler. You go after fucking Killer Croc. I don't want to be in the sewers waiting for an 8-foot crocodile man to eat me. No, thank you.
See, I think I'd still do it. I'd still do it. And I'm sure there are people that are wondering, just like, Matt, if you're so willing to put yourself in these life-threatening situations, why don't you just like join the military or become a cop or something? Those aren't cool. No, people don't like cops.
Oh, so that was the other thing I was gonna say. Are we talking? Yeah, people don't like cops. First and foremost, fuck the police. But are we going off of like comic book Robin, or like is this real life? Like, for example, like I was saying before, in like comic books and shit, Batman's leaping 50, 60 feet in the air. He's taking punches from Darkseid.
Physics?
Yeah, can I train to be at that level, or is it me how I am now, where I am capped out? Like I can only do a certain amount that my body will allow.
You are now, but Batman is also constrained by the laws of physics. Like Batman isn't also comic book Batman. Like he can't. Batman can't be punched
Christian
through
Bale.
walls. He's literally just he's Dark Knight Batman. He is literally just a billionaire, and that is his only superpower.
Even Dark Knight Batman has some unrealistic tendencies to it, but that's more of the technology. But yeah, I agree. I think that's where we're at. Is it Dark Knight Batman's Robin?
Yeah.
I like that idea. That honestly, I would do that because the Dark Knight Batman.
I'd do it just a living Gotham.
Yeah, he's dealing with like the Joker and like Bane and people like that, but they're not like psychos like Saz or like I keep bringing up Professor Pig because he terrifies the shit out of me. Or the Doll Maker, people like that. They're not in that universe as of yet. They could be, but I can't imagine they're in that universe and they're as terrifying as they are in like the comics. So I would be a Dark Knight Robin.
Yeah,
I would do that
because you're in the
I'm just small
in the
enough
Dark
to fit
Knight
the part,
universe.
too.
Your villains don't also they also don't have superpowers, so they're also constrained by just being like trained in martial arts and like
there's no 8-foot crocodile man. He's just a
Right.
guy with a skin issue.
yeah,
You know.
he
There's
just has shingles.
Yeah. He just filed his teeth down. That's all he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that. I would 100% do that because that world is based in real life stuff. And that Batman, like you said, he's based in real life. Like he's not super powered. In the third one, we see that he's, struggling to get out of that fucking hole in the ground or whatever that Bane came out of.
Mhm.
So I would do that. Who's the guy that is supposed to be Robin in that? What's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You could just be a fucking Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's not that big.
I mean,
he was
where
Robin.
any universe where I can sign him to be Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a universe that I'm okay.
That's true. That is very true. I think we solved this one too. Would I be a Batman's Robin? Yes, if it's based in real
Yes.
life.
If you have, Well,
but here's the thing: if it's not, I think that'd be even more fun though, because you get all the unrealistic gadgets.
right,
And
we didn't even
and
address
stuff.
that because we addressed two situations: the situation where you get thrust into the Dark Knight universe and you just maintain your physical properties, and we addressed getting thrust with your own physical properties into the comic book universe. But let's say you do get superpowers.
Not even superpowers, but you just get like those unrealistic
Yeah.
gadgets and things like
Oh,
oh my
okay.
god, the most fun gadget that Batman has that everyone just like looks over. He always has those like he'll throw down like 50 little pellets and then there's a giant smoke cloud. Why don't you just carry around a giant sack of that shit and use it all the damn time? That's like the best thing you could ever have. But those don't exist in the real world. You don't have a little pellet that you could just throw on the ground and it makes a giant smoke screen.
You might if you're a billionaire.
I don't know if the science
Why
is there.
isn't Elon Musk dedicating himself to this?
Why isn't Elon Musk or any rich person just dedicating themselves to being Iron Man or Batman? You have all that money. Do it, you idiots. That's all I have
I
on
feel
that.
like you
But
would get. I feel like you get thrown in prison pretty quickly.
if you're
Well,
Robin?
if you actually no, if you're a billionaire and you become Batman or Iron Man and you're just like carrying out vigilante justice on people, I mean,
they don't
surely
know who you are
somebody's-
though. If you're Batman, they don't know who you are.
Okay, how long could Bruce Wayne actually get away with it? His disguise is not great, and like it would take somebody with like middle school investigation skills who's put like 5 years into this to figure it out.
In the Dark Knight comics, the Dark Knight Returns comics, he gets away with it for like 40 years. So
Okay, that's the comics though. In real life, how long is anybody going to get away with this? There's
yeah,
a handful of people in any major city with the funds.
Hey, that guy just flew past me with a jetpack. You gotta have some money for that
You're
shit.
right.
I wonder who that is.
Check
Oh,
his
hey,
fucking
there's-
Amazon Prime order history.
Hey,
Who's the
there's
guy
a-
that's ordering like jet fuel and
Yeah.
circuits?
There's
I don't know.
local billionaire Bruce Wayne. Oh my God, he's out at 4:00 in the afternoon. Too bad we never see him late at night or in the mornings. He
Right.
must like to sleep in. Oh hey, Batman's here. I wonder who that fucking could be. I don't know. But that I mean, you don't have to be rich to be Batman though. There's the Superman Red Sun where the Batman is a poor Russian guy and he's just a really good strategist and everything. But he's the Batman of that universe. He's not rich, but he has like makeshift homemade like gadgets and stuff.
Okay. What's your point?
My point is anyone could be Batman. Much like anyone could be Robin.
But if you were Batman with like all the fancy gadgets and shit, like nobody's MacGyvering a straight up Batmobile.
That's true. No one's MacGyvering the fucking like flying the wings that he has and everything. But no, I on it. You know what? I would say yes to both. If it's based in the real life, like Christian Bale Batman universe, I would be a Robin. If it's based in the comic book one, I would still be a Robin because yeah, there's more terrifying shit in that, but I also am more well equipped with things to counter that terrifying shit. Like they have like, oh no, fucking Bane's here. That's okay. I have this like gun that shoots like plastic explosive in his face and it'll blow up in his face. It won't kill him, but it'll hit him really hard. I have this taser that'll take down fucking Killer Croc. Like all this shit happens in like the comics and everything. So they have overpowered weaponry. So that practically makes them superpowered. So yeah, if I had that kind of arsenal, I would be a Robin in either
Okay.
universe. So in general, me be Robin. Me be Robin
Okay.
good.
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I agree with you. I
Oh, yeah.
think that does it. I think we've answered all the world's important questions. If you could get Groundhog Day into any day, what would be bad? What would be good? Would you be Robin? And then
Cars.
And then could you survive in the Cars universe? And I think those are the only questions humanity needs answers to.
Yeah, I think we could all just retire.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only other answer would be 42.
Uh,
You know?
I know what you did, But
Funny joke.
yeah,
Overplayed
I don't know,
joke.
maybe on Reddit in like 2007.
Oh, cringe. Love the cringe days.
Anyway, if you go to podnc.com, there's something there. There's something there that's been there for a while. I think there's still merch there. If you
I
bought
hope so.
something, wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Maybe if we keep doing this, we'll make new merch with like Mike's thing on it or something. I don't know. I don't fucking know what's gonna happen.
It'll
I'm
be the
amazed
three
that
of
we've
us.
done 2 of these now.
Yeah. It'll be you, Chris, and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We could look out for check out Podncy Plays as well. I know you guys haven't uploaded in a while, but hey,
a
hey, if you
while
haven't
is
seen
like
it yet,
a year and a half.
if you haven't seen it yet, it's there.
There's one good video there, I think. The rest
I
of them
enjoy
are
them.
okay, but the first episode of Podncy Plays is pretty decent.
With the Bill
It's got
Clinton
some
stuff.
quotable yeah, it's got some quotable moments in it.
That one got so many hits on Instagram for you guys too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right. Anyway, thanks for listening to Unplanned Podncy.
yeah.
Mike, is there anything else you want to say?
I would just like to say thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I hope soon we can get Chris back on for all 3 of us to have a fun time
Yeah,
with.
what
I
are
would
you
love
doing?
to. Yeah, I would love to come up with more scenarios like what we went over today and have Chris's opinion on them. I think that'd be very
Yeah.
fun because he's a very
Analytical.
analytical
Thinker.
person.
Yeah.
I think he would crack a lot of these, much like you did.
He's also a
before.
contrarian.
Oh,
Chris is very good at, yeah, but you didn't think about this.
ooh.
Yeah.
I think that would help a lot in these type of situations too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll happen.
Yeah. That's all I got to say is just thank you. Do you have anything to say besides what
I
you
think
already
I
said?
already did. Yeah.
Bet.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank me.
Thank you.
Thank them. Thanks. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.